We're going to cut to our intro now. That's full of old dated footage. Hello, assholes. No. Can't say any bad words. Hello, peeps. This is Justin Arnold here for the third vlog of Snitch's Prison Simulator. This is a super awesome vlog. Mostly because this will be the first time anything's really been shown about what's going on really with some of the game at the moment, or as much as I'm willing to share at the time. I like to share things that are, complete and awesome, and something I think you guys, will actually like, and not, for lack of better words, buggy and weird, and that's just not my style, But anyways, so yeah, we're going to go over some mechanics of stuff, movement stuff for each character or your main character, camera setups, the options for camera setups, basic, kind of stuff to see that we're really starting with a really good foundation, which is going to ensure that I really have to, stick to some rules for myself as to what's okay. At the end of the day, it comes down to, what I say is passable as for the quality. And I have a bar to hit, so let me... shout out also to all of the Facebook group members, are the most active. They're the ones who I do try to do most of this for. I made a post the other day talking about we were about to hit 300 people, and we were close to that, and then by the end of the day we lost like 35 people all at once. I've heard that Facebook will kick people out of groups if they are inactive for too long. I'm guessing that's what took place. I really don't know. Can't really do much about it anyways. Can't see people who have just left or how they left or why they left. But anyways, shout out to all the Facebook group members. You guys are all here on your own and just finding the game and seeing the posts, and I appreciate every single one of your comments and thoughts and ideas on the game. What goal am I talking about here? My pen really wasn't working super good. What making a game means to me. Okay. Yeah, now I get it. Okay. Making Snitch's goal, which still is kind of confusing. My goal of making Snitches. That's it. That's what it means. Yeah. We're going to talk about the new teaser that I did of just the demo unit. I just released that a couple days ago. It's got, I don't even know how many views, but it's doing pretty good. We just don't have the audience we need yet. And by we, I mean me and you guys, because you are part of the audience. And so it's, also any kind of friends or anything that you think would be interested in the game and watching it progress and all that good stuff. Looking at, anybody who you think would be interested. Sorry, I just scratched my ear. bring them our way, or show them the group page or something, and if they like it, they can stick around. If they think it's ridiculous, then they can go on their happy ways. But anyways, we're gonna talk about the new teaser, show the new teaser, play the game, and go over the controls, what's going on with it, and talk about possible 2-player. It says it right there in my broken Batman book. It's broken. I get like $3, so don't feel like I don't have books. It's just I don't like taking all the mass amounts. Why am I telling you this? Anyways, but anyways, yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Vlog 3 for Snitch's Prison Simulator. I'm Justin Arnold. Oh, and talk about possible 2-player action. Shared screen, no less. A little bit different than the standards, I guess. I just kind of want to make it as an additive, not as in a really dense aspect of the game, but something that's more kind of like if you have a friend over at your house, they can kind of jump in with you and play a little bit to an extent. It's already set up and working, so we'll talk about that and get you guys' opinions on it at some point in time. So, first thing that I want to talk about is what making a game means to me. But there, I don't know. I'll put it there. So what a game means to me, personally, making a game, it really comes down to how honest you want to be with yourself. There's a lot of different disciplines, to say the least, and I feel a lot of indie game developers maybe aren't as honest as they need to be with themselves. I think probably my edge to that is I've been in the industry of deadlines and art and customers and these things my entire career, pretty much. It's been meeting deadlines, doing all different aspects of design in many different ways, which I look a little more better that way. But yeah, lots of different aspects of design that kind of led me to here, and lots of different aspects of different other things that kind of led me to this point that make me feel like I have 20 years worth of design across the board. That's everything from industrial to graphic to tattooing. I did years and years and years in a professional level on all of these things. Many different programs before I even touched a game engine. I'd been using Photoshop, Illustrator, Corel, and so many others probably by about 6 years by the point in time I finally picked up making a game. So all these little tiny aspects of things that were overlapping in the game industry made it easier for me to transition into making a game. Doesn't make it easy, don't get me wrong, makes it easier. Otherwise I would have to learn all of that stuff as well too. Knowing myself as an artist, I have been a sculptor, I have been a tattoo artist. I am an emotional designer. I don't have any professional education on any of the things that I have done, including design gas flows for gas plants, they needed an engineer that could draw, and I happened to be around and taught myself isometric drawing in 35 minutes by copying some of their maps and understanding what they were looking for. So I am well versed in a lot of aspects, from physically putting it together. Literally, I have a huge background in construction that I did most of during the times of slow seasons during tattoo years of my life. I have lots and lots of residential and commercial physical construction. When it comes down to that, kind of helps you think about how things visually fit into a space. It's one thing to be able to do it as an artist. It's another thing to be able to kind of implement real structural thought process into that and its functionality. So I do implement that as well also. I've also always had a thing, even just drawing, where I did kind of more post-apocalyptic chunks of Earth and space kind of weird stuff. I did that for years and years and years just for fun. It was kind of my for fun thing. But what a game means to me by making it by oneself is how honest with yourself are you about your weaknesses, and what are you going to actually accomplish. Too much of it is a fun thought process, but it's not that much fun in that same kind of fun capacity as making a game. So it really means to me about taking all the experience that I have, and taking all the experience I can gain and all the information and different methods of doing things that I can gain, and combine them into something that rivals AAA. I don't intend to put out anything less. And I don't think I'll have to do it all by myself. My intent is to hit a crowdfunding point for Snitch's Prison Simulator, and hopefully we can get some people, or essentially get some funds in order to get some pros to really come in that are smarter than me at certain aspects of this stuff, that have been doing it for years, and really help streamline would be a word they'd like to use. Streamline the process of making this game. It is a lot. It's a lot for me to do. That's also a great reason to have extreme focus, because it forces you to complete tasks that you're setting for yourself consistently. If you don't have that extreme focus and extreme drive in that capacity, you will fail in making a game. I don't allow bugs to come into the game and hang out. I immediately attack them. I like to finish and complete individual and full aspects of the game, and so it's harder for me to really be able to share all those things with you guys, not as much as I'd like to, because so much is putting out fires. Making games is something constantly changing, something constantly possibly coming up as an issues that you never foresaw, issues that come out of nowhere. There's all kinds of things that can happen, and you'll end up spending more time doing this or that than you should have. And that's really why it's taken me so long to put out a vlog, is because in between here and then I put all of the game onto the new computer, and what that meant is when I changed it to the new computer, I had to get the new version of Unreal Engine, which was 4.21, and I was in 4.20 on the old computer, which is behind this monitor here. When I did that, it broke all of my maximum view distances for all my instant static meshes. And so what that means is that I use instant static meshes for pretty much everything. Instanced static meshes for pretty much everything, and it allows you to utilize one object and instance it within a blueprint, which will allow it to only count the first individual asset that you use, and then does not count the additional assets that are instanced of it. So you could have a pole, you know, with like 18 other poles next to it, and it's only going to count that one first pole. Well, I do that to everything, and I had every single one of my instance static meshes, which is a lot, especially considering that my environment is a replicated environment, meaning it's door, 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 you know, cell, cell, cell. That makes it better for me, you know, but being that that's the case, when I walked into the demo in the new computer on the new version of the engine, all of except for a few things which did not have a maximum distance view set were invisible. And so I did that, and I had to mess with so much else in between here and there, but that's just an example of one of the fires. You know, you make a step and then something generally happens. You go to do something, it takes much longer. I was on sitting in a chair longer as an issue than I've been on anything ever. It accumulated probably about 2.5 full weeks. You know, probably a good 120 hours spent to sitting in a chair. Hi, I'm Justin, and we're making a sitting in a chair simulator. That's how I felt. And I got so far into constantly doing it that it's easy to not lose sight, but be able to break down the possible causes of issues. You know, you get too muddled in trying to figure out what the problem is, but you're just kind of redoing the same things over. I was trying to get it, which I did get it, to a point where when sitting down, I wanted it all set up within a certain type of settings and blueprints that I already have. It makes it easier. Makes it easier for every aspect of the game. Pretty much it'll make it a shorter task for the entire time. And I was having issues with getting the capsule, which was choosing the direction of where you were looking when you got done sitting in the animation, and then sitting in the animation, and so many things, you know, and I spent a lot of time on that and finally got it where I want it to be. I pretty much have one thing left, which is the first person, how it's going to deal with a first person camera. But then you can do other things, like what's a good for instance of something that I did recently, like implementing, I'm having an issue of thinking something. What have I even been doing? Okay, for the last 3 days, I pretty much did the, I did the cinematic for the demo level. So that's pretty much not working on the game. Oh no, that's what I did. I finished sitting. I finished all that little section of stuff that I was doing. Polished up my character a tiny bit. Polished up, built an actual NPC / controllable guard. So I did that. Mostly just polish up for the demo. Polished up the vlog. This vlog. So I have to set up things that I'm trying to accomplish before the vlog. And then I have to set up and make sure everything looks halfway decent, well, nice, to do the vlog. And I don't really want it to seem, you know, junky or clunky or weird or buggy, you know, so I'm really trying to have an effect that first time. And so, yeah, I mean, it ultimately comes down to having the staying power to be able to move past issues, to continue on. Does not matter. You cannot take no for an answer if you want to be a game developer. You cannot be light at heart at not being able to go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper into something because you don't understand the fundamental knowledge of it to hence do what you're trying to accomplish versus just watching a tutorial. They will get you so far. Some will get you completely in the wrong direction all the way around the board. Making a game, there's usually 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 different ways to do something, and then there's like 1 or 2 of those ways that is actually correct, like the real way. And then there's also trying to do stuff or accomplish tasks in backwards ways to just get them to function. And you'll find yourself doing all those things, and ultimately, especially if you're making a game by yourself, these are things you can go back and adjust, but you just don't want to sit there with lots and lots of bugs or whatever the case may be. But it's really being honest with yourself. Making a game is really being honest with yourself. You have to be honest with what you can accomplish, and accomplishing things in all facets. If you aren't willing to take on and learn entire huge amounts of different disciplines, you're gonna fail. It is not easy. Game developing is not easy. I have learned so much stuff that I forget stuff that I've learned. I have to re-look up things that I figured out so long ago, and about the best benefit to that is I am generally quicker at getting through aspects, when it's something that I've done before. But sometimes I completely forget, how to do things, and it's just, there's lots and lots and lots of stuff to do. So being honest with yourself about what you can do, what you have to learn to do, how interesting your artwork is, your game is, the functionality, what sets it apart, what makes it not another duplication of all the other duplications that are all over the market. I see a lot of also indie developers that are making super niche games, and if that's your directive, then that's great. Making a game in the capacity of just being super niche-y is even furthering the art form, but you are asking for a smaller base of people, but that was my phone. But anyways, yeah, so it's being honest. You got to be honest. You got to be able to tell yourself the truth and deal with the truth accordingly. It's not easy. So much is going to be hard. So many things take way too many steps that you'll wish you didn't have to take. That's just how it is. Making snitches, I'm going to move on because I don't want to bore you guys too much, Making Snitch's goal to me is really about giving a true replication of life in prison. It's really trying to set the tone, the feel, the emotional, everything. I want you to really understand it, because the truth to it is there's an amazing, crazy game that can be had there with the the fundamentals and the hierarchies and just the methods of how people are to each other, and the money aspects in prison, and I'm struggling trying to think of all the fancy words here, but I couldn't think of either of the words I was trying to think of just then. But anyways, then doing a vlog and being comfortable enough and trying to stay on track enough to, get my point across. But making Snitches is about trying to make a realistic aspect of prison and how you interact with people and what you can do and what you can't do or what you're not supposed to do. And then I also have to keep in mind that it is a video game. I want playability, replayability, and I want you to still be able to have fun. I want it to dynamically have different aspects. It's a lot like the the double player, two player I was talking about, the co-op type direction. It'd be a small layer into the game that will allow you to do other different and weird, cool little stuff. It's like one of the goals I want for the actual game is to make it to where you can give and get prison tattoos. You go out and collect all the stuff and take apart a hair dryer or whatever, tape player motor, and use it as a tattoo gun, and make the whole process, and then have the opportunity to try to tattoo people using the thumbstick on your controller or with your mouse, and it's going to make some awful tattoos, which will be hilarious, but I want to take it as far as I really can. Once the environment is done, it really comes down to super cultivating that interaction in the game. And that's kind of what I've done is probably about 8 months ago, I shifted gears to straight up demo. So pretty much everything you're seeing I've created in that point in time on the new teaser trailer and everything for the demo period. So once I decided to do that, I decided that demo map area is pretty much complete. There's like a single pass waiting on everything, and I think demo map level has like 3 or 4 actual levels that stream that are just individual rooms or whatever the case may be, just to help on optimization of the game, of the demo. But making the demo levels out to be awesome, and then really focusing on this beginning step of characters, how they function and how it all works in the game. And that's where we're at. We're just past kind of generalized functioning. There's a couple more things in generalized functioning I want to get working. And then we're going to move on to fighting systems, which is in we'll call a pre-alpha stage. There is some fighting aspects in play. But the only thing that's not really been touched so far is character interaction with other interactors like NPCs, how you'll talk to each other. I haven't fully decided on yet. So that'll be one thing that we'll end up going over. But yeah, so what we'll do is I'll talk about the new teaser. So the new teaser I did mostly just to, I was about to come out with this vlog, and I didn't want to just jump into the game, to the demo level, and be like, here it is, and I'm doing this other stuff, which is watch me walk around and blah, blah, blah. I didn't want it to kind of get lost, in that. And also, I hadn't put the new PC through the paces of doing all that. I had not done a real teaser trailer at all for the game in a long, long time, probably like 2 years. And it was a huge pain on the old computer. The old computer crashed like 15 times per capture of a video. And there was like 20 videos. It took me 2 weeks of pretty much crashing the computer to get all that. And that was like the very first one. It got like 12,000 views though. Oh, it's not too bad. But anyways, so it was really just trying to showcase the demo level, because that's a necessity, and stretch the computer's new legs, and again, push myself as a cinematographer, editor, music composer. There's just 3 disciplines right there that generally would be someone else's job, but I started to make this game because I not only love that kind of stuff, but I knew that I'd have to get better at it, and I feel like I am getting better at it, being that technically that's the only real second cinematic anything I've really done. I've done some other stuff, recording stuff. I don't think, no, maybe third or fourth. Okay, that'd be the max. Depends on what you'd want to call, cinematic. I feel like there's probably about four or six that could be considered cinematic in total. This is by far my best work in that capacity, and it's very interesting and gratifying to be able to do all that stuff, like literally make the entire thing, then turn around and pick that awesome song and do those awesome clips and videotape each one of those, record each of those, shots, those video shots, and then combining it all to come out with something like this. That was the teaser trailer. It was awesome, huh? So it's all new, updated. That's not having all the old stuff in the intro like I do now. That's all old stuff in the intro, and you can still see some of the architectural aspects are the same. Some. I changed some things to make the space feel bigger, to make it feel more of an environment than just a huge room that a bunch of people, live in. I had it like that. I didn't really like it as much. But yeah, that was it. It was pretty awesome. I got nothing else at the moment. So we're going to go in and play the game. And, I'm going to talk to you all through playing the game, talk about the controls, talk about what each individual thing does, show you what all's, not really possible. There's certain things I'm not ready to show just yet. And there's certain things that I am. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. Snitch's Prison Simulator. First mechanics, game mechanics, and character mechanics video ever. Take 001. Click. 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 No, that looks kind of weird. How about click? No, that's not any. Hi, I am Justin Arnold, and I am the developer of Snitch's Prison Simulator. And this is our first time of showing any kind of anything other than a couple videos, little snippets. This is the very beginning of showing anything happening in the game, specifically character mechanics, some of the stuff you can do, and I'm just going to kind of bump through it a little bit because as I was talking about earlier, fires and things of that nature. I come in here to do stuff and I see all kinds of little things I want to tweak and mess with, and it's probably almost midnight already, so I'm trying to get something out for you guys, not justify another reason to take forever. But here's one of our main guys at the moment. Everything is subject to change. He's just in here getting a little weirdness on this fence right here because that material thinks it's okay for a camera to pass through. We'll live without it. But anyways, here's one of our characters. He is one of the guys, or actually the only guy at the moment that has a bunch of the group names on him. You can look down, you can see him on his arm a little bit there. There's his first person. And he can move, and he will turn in place. In first person here, he will, just walk. You want him to walk. Right now, I'm using a Xbox 360 controller to control him. You can use the mouse and keyboard as well, also, but at the moment that's what I'm using. So we can, interact with some items too. So we got a guard door. Now normally an inmate would not be able to utilize using this guard door. That is ragdoll. Sorry, pushed the wrong button. Let's see if it's this one. No, let's jump. I've got it implemented in here. I might not have it implemented on the controller. So anyways, here is a guard door. You normally wouldn't be able to interact with this, but there it is. You can walk on in here if you wanted to, and shut the door back if you wanted to. I know, riveting, right? Welcome to the door simulator. So we can walk on in here, check out stuff. There's some weird stuff going on with the shadows. Oh, there's a little something there. I really like that. I like that. It's got some old video here. That's a video of how the unit used to look. That's showing the doors open. It's not open. We've got buttons. All this kind of needs to have another pass to it, which the entire unit does. This is just kind of where we are at this state. Going to a crouch here, and look on the computer. There's a calendar here. clock. It does tell time, and it is working. There's something weird with the glass there that I gotta figure out. I don't even think the time is correct on there at the moment, but it does work. Fire alarm, lights. I will have all these lights to where they can work right, and control the day room. We're getting some weird shadows in here just because right now I only have one reflection capture cube. As we walk through, you're going to see little funny things. This is your first aid stuff, and you can actually see a little weirdness with some lods in there. I saw them just a second ago. But here's some first aid. You can come back over here, and we can shut the door. Welcome back to the door simulator. And we can go on out. And so yeah, we're going to continue on. We'll go on through here. That door should shut. Oh, there it goes. I was about to say, let's open my door. Who broke my door? Anyways, here we are. Here's the main unit, man. We're getting some decal weirdness here because of LODs on it, as you can see right there. Decals still are kind of an interesting thing because they'll do things strangely and randomly that I haven't spent the time to get out. Most of the time it's because it's overlapping one in the same space and they don't really like that. But anyways, here's the unit, guys. Here it is. Walk up these stairs. There's our IK going on here. Oh yeah, like that, huh? Not all the collisions set up on the cameras either, or not on the cameras, but on the objects within the unit. So you'll see it kind of collides strangely with certain things. But anyways, here's the beginning of Snitch's Prison Simulator demo. Just kind of a walkabout. We're going to talk about different things and options and stuff that's going on. These are kind of little guard shacks I put in. They're not exactly something I ever saw in a prison. They're more of kind of more of the gameplay additive kind of that I spoke about earlier, wanting to do things that make the game fun to still do, you know, and it seemed like just one big open room was a little boring. This kind of breaks it up, kind of makes it a little bit more interesting as an environment. There's a cell. You can walk off into a cell here. Got our desk and cabinets here for stuff, and our toilet. And there is a blanket that looks like it's not even on a mattress. It might be. You can see outside if there was stuff going on out there. There's not really anything going on out there. Got to still figure out what I'm doing with these mirrors. Not 100% sure just yet what I want to do with them. Yeah, but anyways, walking on out and continuing down, we have a grand total of 40 cells, 40 units for Snitch's Prison Simulator. It's 2 people per cell, and a grand total of 80 people in the unit. There is a guard down there. We'll get to him later. Anyways, so let's talk about some camera actions and movements. So you have, with the thumb control on a gamepad or on a game controller, you have full access of speed. so you can walk. You can even slow it way down and kind of super chill. You can go to a jog or a sprint by pressing into that same left analog stick. Another thing is we have two different methods of movement. One is a full cycle on the camera, okay, and he's going to walk wherever you point him with the camera. So if you want him to go, if you're looking this direction, you push forward, he's going to turn around and go that direction. Okay, same thing. And if you push backwards while going that way, he's going to keep coming this direction. So there is no real backwards from this setting. It's all viewing direction is what it is. Then we can go to a looking direction. And so with this, he can turn and look in all directions. And this would be best in fighting stances, I believe. You know, this would be best for when you're in a fight, because you can, you know, essentially circle around a person in a slow or fast motion. You know, you can move a lot better, I think. You know, there is a kind of a focus look there. This is implied for you know, weapons are trying to focus. I might add a little bit more to the camera in this triggered option. So you have those two different types of movement, and with those, let's get a little bit more room with ourselves here. So by looking direction, he can kind of stutter step, you know. When you go into non-looking, he's going to just go in those directions. You can set him down to just simply walk by a button push also, if you don't want to have that variance in speed at all times. So I am full on using the left analog stick the same way as I was before, but it's just a simple control button that allows you to stop the variance of speed. So if I hit that control button again, then he can run or walk slow or walk real slow or walk real. Speaking of real slow, we have slow motion. Oh, that's the ragdoll again. Okay. Slow motion. Look at that guy. And that controls the entire scene. But as you can see, he's dynamically leaning into these corners. His body is running correctly. Anyways, let's stop and over here. Here's some information for you. You're entitled to food, clothing, shelter, and medical attention. Everything else you get is a privilege. The hexagon staff. That sounds about right. Yeah. And let's see. We got some rules over here. Inmates must follow all district order. Blah blah blah. You want to read that? You can pause it and read it. I made that today, actually, and just kind of chuck some stuff on there, and really also played on the factor of whoever made this did not know how to make a sign correctly, because of how close the sides of it are. You know, kind of like not doing a good job on it on purpose. Makes sense. So yeah, we're just kind of walking through. Here's some phones. I want to get those working eventually. By game, definitely working. Here's a commissary. There's more stuff in here. I just have it to where you can't see it all at the moment. I don't know why this bar is right here. It's just weird. It's supposed to be on this door. But anyways, here's commissary. Oh yeah, commissary. One we made at a time. There are some weapons. We're not going to go into that because that's technically the state I'm in right now. So we're not going to visit weapons at this exact moment. But anyway, sorry you had to witness those sitting there. But you saw some earlier back there as well too. There's some screwdrivers and stuff. But all things that are in the works. Additive armor, which is kind of the point of... well, just run over that table. Let's go back in here. Oh yeah, this is the guard bathroom right here. It is complete. It is a level. It is not streaming from here right now because all I'm working on is the demo, so we can't go in there at the moment. Oh yeah, we could shut this door here. But anyways, that's like the helmet here. This is like kind of my homage to Unreal. We'll be doing the full box armor in the demo. This will be an achievement you can get in the demo. And it's just kind of a fitting also, you know. Armor in prison breaks down to whatever you can make that's going to help protect yourself. You know, that bucket over there is also a helmet. You know, so it's kind of, you know, that's the point. I mean, you could make a weapon out of a plunger. Trust me, it is one. You know, there's other things in here that are going to kind of put it to almost like a, you know, gladiator-esque options if you really want to go down that way. I mean, it's obviously going to end badly for you, but you know, hey, I'm trying to give you options, you know. So let's go back out here. Let me think. Okay, so we've gone over ragdoll because I've hit that button on accident like 8 times. There's jump, and like you can see that collision of the camera to the top level there. I'm not really a big fan of that. So there's that. We've got crouch, and you can move and shoot and everything in crouch. Use weapons in crouch. You can even walk quicker in crouch. Go straight to sprint if you want to. Tables. Oh yeah, here is a here's an ice room, which in some prisons they'll have a room dedicated to where you can get some ice. In between inmates breaking the microwave, there might be one of those in here at that time. The ice machine has had like a single pass. I like made it, chucked it in here, and haven't done anything else to it. Haven't messed with the materials or anything. So, and then I've made another one also that I might eventually use. But anyways, so there's that. Let's see. So crouch, walk. Yeah, he's walking either way. So you have camera first person, like I said, camera third person, a full cycle camera. That'll be a velocity of a looking direction of the camera is really how that works. And then a looking direction of the head is what guides you on this. Let's see, what else? Okay, so we got also this, which I did say, you know, you could read it yourself, but anyways, I mean, we can kind of check it out. See what's up with that. Inmates must follow all direct orders or face disciplinary action. Inmates must respond within a timely manner when staff asks them a direct question. Spit, piss, that might be a little too very suggesting. And bowel movements in any place other than the toilet will be will put you in the hole for 2 weeks minimum. So like this is like all the stuff you just want to do anyway. Contraband is an immediate disciplinary action. All items not on commissary lists are considered contraband. Do not touch other inmates' personal items, body, or act in any threatening way or suffer disciplinary action. And this sounds like yelling, profanity, fighting gang signs, gang activity, racial slurs toward any inmate or staff will not be tolerated. Job, school, blah, blah, blah. Lame. What's going on here? Oh, snap. What's up? What's up? What you running up on me for? With the baton. I didn't do nothing. I'm reading the rules here. This guy. Let me just creep on out of here. Just trying to read these rules, little buddy. I'm not trying to creep up on you. You must have a job or attend school every day. Come on, dude. Whoa, back up. Your hands don't really match the color of your face. Like, your hands really need to get some sun. I like your boots, though. Oh, this guy's all just kind of pretty much in a working state. He's part of the characters in the aspect that are modular. I just whacked the microphone pretty hard, so sorry about that. He's part of the characters that are modular. He's actually a bunch of different pieces. And I can make a bunch of different people with him. Whoa, where are you going? Oh, you're walking weird. Oh, you want to go stand over there, huh? Okay. That guy is so weird. He's just staring at me. Oh, did you see that? See underneath that bench right there? See that? But anyways, and we got some flickering of stuff going on here. We got this guy. He's just like walking around. Why are you walking backwards? Why are you walking like that? You're freaking me out. Oh, I know why. Alright, so now you can I'll just rotate kind of in a circle. He is the beginning of your secondary player. I mentioned doing some kind of co-op stuff. He is contingent on that kind of. He wouldn't be a cop, but his functionality is that other character at the moment. And so if I do that, he just kind of looks at you. He's going to turn back and look at you. If I keep pushing, he's going to like freak out, watch you. And so what's cool about him is that we can. When I'm talking about doing a shared screen, we can run all the way over here, and he's off screen, okay? And now he's going to come find us. And if you want him to go faster, You just hit the plus, it'll go slower, you hit minus. It's a whole nother group of controls for this guy. He'll come find you. He can do a number of things. He can turn his looking off. He is going to have issues right here because I need to put a little blocker right there for some reason. It has a weird step right here. See, my guy only kind of wants to go up it every once in a while. I can jump it, but I gotta fix that. I won't worry about it right now. But anyways, so if we run down here, see, he's looking at us, and he'll walk. Some if you want him to walk. He's not going to necessarily go all the way to it unless you hit a certain button, which is going to make him come all the way to you. So he could be out of the screen and jump back in the screen with you. I'm not sure if that's exactly how I'm going to do that or not yet. And then he's just doing that because you're looking at him. He'll go on his merry way if I want him to, because I have him set to where he'll roam to. But he has all the same functionality. As you do. He can jump. He can crouch. He can turn and look at you. He's pretty cool. As for exactly how I'm going to implement him come into the picture, I'm not sure. Maybe even somewhat of a camera option. Let you choose how you want to see him, if you want him in the camera with you, or if you want him out of the camera shot. But anyways, so yeah, there's a bunch of stuff right there. There's a lot more, of course. I might even, let me see if I can do a backflip. This wasn't to do some huge long vlog. I got other stuff I'm trying to show too. Let's see if we can pull off a backflip. Oh. I messed up. Ow, I hit my head. Let's go right here. No, I keep hitting my head on something. I'm not a pro at this. It took me a couple tries to get it the first time I showed y'all. Why is he not flipping backwards though? I think his head's hitting on that. That's what's happening. Almost. Oh, I did nerf his jump too. I bet that's what it is. I nerfed his jump. He was jumping like a maniac. Totally did. I didn't think about that. So now I can't backflip without unnerfing his jump, which his jump was just too ridiculous, dude. So maybe I could get it to where he'll, you could get some inertia going or something along those lines with it. He just needs to be able to turn a little bit more. His physics on this character are kind of still a little looser than I'd like. See that light flashing on and off there? There it goes. Now this is a little something I'm trying to mess with, because in Unreal Engine you have 3 different types of lights that you really use, and it's static, stationary, and movable lights. the problem is that stationary lights act like static and don't pull as much as movable lights, which movable light is either allowed to move or it calculates the movement of other things, which in this situation is our guy, which doesn't seem like there's some shadow there. There we go. But anyways, so what that means, yeah, there's some shadow, it's just kind of light. What that means is that static is fully static. It gets baked in pre-game package and does not change. There's a lot of static light in here. But then shadows really ground out a character and make you look more, functionable to the world, really more in the world. That light's a little blown out. Let's come over here. Yeah. So the point is that let's turn that off there. Is that I use this little trick I'm trying to mess with, where with stationary you can't have more than I think 3 or 4, and they start to overlap by their trigger box and by their area, and it will cause an issue with the engine. Movable lights are very expensive, or more expensive than static, and so what I'm trying to do is have a trigger that triggers on a movable light when you get close to it, and that's what you're seeing right there. I haven't tweaked it enough to get it down to where it acts right. It's still showing that pull, that trigger being triggered. I just need to set the trigger box bigger, and you'll never be able to see that when you come around that corner that it's being triggered. But anyways, yeah, we got some weapons. That's what I'm currently working on, or started to work on. That's pretty much all I intended to really show. Just to get you guys something out, to see something, see that he is functioning. He can do a lot of things, even things that are meant for the game. I mean, you wouldn't think it, but this guy can, he's got full inventory, full weapon management, can drive cars, use guns, fight, all those things, but they're all in a stage of where I'm not ready to share that with you yet. We will get there, but at the moment, that's kind of just what I was trying to do. Was, I'd love to be showing you one right now, a vlog that has everything done, and us fully interacting in the game, but I just can't do that just yet. And I am, taking my time and trying to get it right and do everything as awesome as I can do it. But yeah, that's pretty much the vlog. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace. Oh wait, I'm not really gonna just sign off. I might. This might just be the end of the vlog. I don't know. I gotta eat a sandwich. I'm hungry.